Hello, welcome back. In the last video we rewound this transformer, so we made a new pulse transformer. Took off, found that there was an open in one of the coils, so we rewrapped it. And here's the old cable that came off. And went ahead and cleaned off these guys, so they're still a little burned looking, but it's merely cosmetic. It comes off. Actually, I can show you. It's just cosmetic, so it comes off. It can be cleaned off if we wanted to, but I cleaned it off enough that, you know, it checked it for damage. They're not damaged. So that's that. So in this video we're going to go ahead and put the pulse transformers on these boards. So we end up with that and the hardware. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to grab a set here and go ahead, and if we look at this one, see how it's installed on there. We want to come on the side here. We want these guys essentially all in a row, and then have these two plug in on the bottom. So if we line these up, and you can see where the previous zip tie held it, maybe. Focus. No, it won't focus. You can see where the previous zip tie was holding it from the indentation. Here, let me do this. Does that work? Focus. There you go. Yeah, you can see the indentations from where the previous zip tie held it, so we're able to match the orientation that way. So we know that this guy was installed this way, and this guy was installed this way. Right? So you can cheat that way. Because if you get them swapped, then it'll just be harder to put them in, because the orientation of the connectors will be backwards. You'll have to kind of twist it to get them in. But since they are identical, it doesn't really matter. But to make it exactly the way it was before, these two guys just kind of wedged themselves in here. Ended up with both of these guys going down here, and these guys being like that. And then we'll add the other pulse transformer in here in a little bit. Next, I gotta zip tie it in, and the zip ties have to go in like this. Otherwise, you end up with too much of a gap between here and the next board, and then they won't fit right. So you can see how much they stick out. So you want to keep that to a minimum. So you want to use a zip tie that's of equal or lesser height. These ones are slightly smaller, and you want them to end up not like that, but just like this. Alright? So, flip this over here, hold them in, and we're going to put the zip tie in like this. So we want to go down, around, up, and really hard to do with one hand. And I gotta tighten it because I gotta push them back in. So I'll go ahead and tighten them after I want to secure everybody in first. See, like I was saying, you don't want to end up with it this way. You want it rotated around this way. Something like that. Get these guys lined back up in here. I'll probably tighten that one up too much. I did. Well, that'll have to work. Not exactly where it was before, but close enough. It'll work. And put the next ones in. One of these days I'll get some editing software and then I can edit out all these steps. Make for less boring videos, huh? So we got these guys in there. Go ahead and if I find my pliers, here we go. Let's go ahead and give them a snug click. It can be a little tighter. There you go, those guys aren't going anywhere. And then we can clip off the excess. Okay, so that's somewhat the same. Got the connectors in here. They're going the right orientation like the other one. Everything looks good. And get that last pulse transformer in there. Grab this guy here. And it goes down in this little spot in here. And we need the 4 pins going that way. So that goes over the top like that, and then this ends up going here in the middle like that. So we're going to kind of squish them in here. Hey Milo, what you doing? Can you come down and see what's going on? The kitty has arrived. So we want to do the same thing. We want this. We want to match that. So we're going to come. These ones fit. I got the small ones, but I think this will actually fit. So how we want to do this? We want to come up through here. Should be able to see where it was zip tied in before. There it is. So I can rotate that around. And get it right in there. There you go. So he is now zip tied in there, and then that ends up with this guy going, this guy goes over here, and this guy ends up being in line with everybody else, and This guy goes down there, and this guy goes down there. It's gonna be something like that. There we go. So that one is done. Go ahead and do the next one. They look about the same. Oh, we gotta put that. Oh, I'll put all those in first, then I'll put those on there. So, one down, two more to go. So go ahead and put these guys in. Again, I'm just lining up the marks from the zip tie, the previous zip tie, to help these guys in. Help line everything up. I just have to look and see which way the zip tie is supposed to go. And trust me, find out the hard way if you put that in wrong. It doesn't fit. I need that to be this way. That, so it's got to go this way. Good. Yeah, I guess these videos are kind of boring. You can always fast forward. That's what YouTube's for. Just fast forward through it. Fast forwarding is easier than editing, if that makes any sense. The same? Yeah, it looks the same. Make sure they're in pretty good. Yeah, that looks good. Go ahead and tighten them up. Okay, and then put the little guy in. Goes in like this. Yeah. Maybe it's easier to put the little one in first. Something like that. And we need to put this in this way. Go through there. I didn't catch anything, did I? Nope. got those guys, that guy, and that. Boom. So those two are done. See, it's a lot quicker the next time. As I say that, this next one will probably cause all kinds of problems. Get some more zip ties. Zip ties. Here. Okay, so last but not least, I get this guy, and looks like that one. Did he go there, or did he go? Yeah, he had to be there, right? Yeah. Is that the right way? Yeah, this way. Yep, that looks good. Now, for some reason, I feel like these ones exit on the top, but this one's exit on the bottom, the ones that were glued. I'm not going to glue them. The zip ties are enough to hold them, but that's going to make it more difficult to put that little guy in there when they're exiting that way, but we'll make it happen. See, that shouldn't be too bad to get that the right alignment. Goes this way. Yeah. Yeah, that should be okay. Them puppies zip tied in. Which way does this go? Yeah. Ah, see, I did it backwards. See? So, that guy comes out. Wrong way. So I always mess that up. Okay, so it needs to go in the bottom hole first. So this hole first. Yeah. If you put them in the other way, they hit stuff. Yeah, they have to go in this exact way. So somebody spent a lot of time figuring that out back at Bursa. Figure out which way these things need to go in order for it to work. Not too bad. Go ahead and tighten them up. There you go, and then the little guy goes in here. like so. I think he goes in. So just get him in here. So that needs to go here. And nope, the 4-pin one goes there. So it looks like you went like that. Yep. Actually ends up going at kind of like an angle. We'll get him in there. So, get everybody out of the way for a sec. It's the wrong way. You go this way. There you go. Right. Oh, I got it on the wrong side. See, that should be... I messed it up. That's wondering why that was so difficult. So I always screw these things up. So this should be on this side. See, I always jinx myself by saying, oh yeah, it'll be super easy. And that's it. Okay, that ends up being that way. Yeah, that's what we want. That's the ticket. There you go. Boom, boom. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Everybody is in. No problem. No problems, but good enough. And then the last thing we want to do is put all the little hardware in. So, yeah, let me grab the randomly obscure, impossible to find 5.5 millimeter. Yeah, I don't know why it's 5.5, but most socket sets do not have a 5.5 millimeter. Again, you gotta get it from Germany. I don't know why. But should be able to get them in there with this. So for these, we just stick them in like this, but you don't want to tighten them yet because they need to line up with the bridge rectifier, which is on another board, and you want to get everything kind of like finger tight so it can slide around, and that'll allow you to line it up really well when you put everything back together. Then you can tighten it. So in the meantime, we're just gonna put them in finger tight. I'm gonna put them in the right way. I just want them tight enough, see I can still move it around because there's a lot of slop, so we just want them tight enough, and then we will go ahead and we put the bridge rectifier board in, then we'll get it all lined up and then put that up and tighten them up when it's kind of aligned with the other board. There's a bit of slop. Yeah, try finding a 5.5mm socket. They're not easy. So we want that tight enough that it can still kind of move around, but snug enough that we can get it in there and then draw it into the right position when we put the other board in. Because they got enough play in them, they can move, you know, this way, angle. So we just want to, we got to remember that they're not fully tight, otherwise when we go and run it, it'll burn up the connection there. Was that last one even in frame? I wasn't paying attention. One of these days, instead of using my cell phone, I will get an actual recorder, like a video camera or something. I gotta hurry because I've got like 2 minutes left before it runs out. So we're doing a speed run. Can we get it all done before we run out of recording media? That one's done. Last one. I gotta hurry. We got a minute left. Like a minute and 30 seconds. Speed run. Oh, we might actually make it. We might actually make it. We're getting really close. There you go. Okay, we've got them tightened on there. So that gets these guys completely done. And before I run out of film, thanks for watching. Woohoo!